guys, it's Kelsey. Welcome back. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Today I'm doing a little bit of a throwback. I'm using some of my old favorites and kind of doing my makeup how I do it now. So this is the look I got. If you want to see how I got this look, just keep watching. Alright, I'm starting off with some primer. I have purchased this one a few times. I don't know if it was, I would say it's like a throwback makeup, but I've purchased a few times. My old one I used to use was the Maybelline Baby Skin. Just didn't have that one around, so just using what I've got on hand right now. But it is pretty good. And this used to be my go-to foundation for a long time back in the old packaging. It was like in the squeezy tube. And I just recently repurchased this in the new packaging, and I have to admit, it's still pretty great. I've been using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation lately, and I like that one a lot as well. This one's a little bit more full coverage, but you can thin it out pretty nice as well. I'm using this EcoTools flat top kabuki type style brush. I've had this one for a long time. EcoTools used to be one of my favorite makeup brush brands. I really liked them. I still like their stuff, I just kind of forget about it. Back in the day when I used to like this foundation a lot, I typically wore it a little bit thicker. That was kind of all my foundation though. I kind of wore it a little bit thicker. Now I like to wear it a little bit thinner, a little bit more natural looking, and so I think it just suits my skin a little bit better than cakiness. It does do a really great job blending into your skin. It looks great. This is the Wet n Wild Come Correct Concealer. I've talked about this before in my channel and I really like it. I'm applying it with this Bare Minerals concealer brush. I used to always use Bare Mineral brushes as well. I really liked their stuff. I still do, but just like EcoTools, it kind of just sits in my vanity now because I have other things to use. But I really like this concealer. I've talked about it before. It does great. And I'm just kind of blending it out with that EcoTools brush again. I didn't used to use a bunch of brushes, and I feel like the brushes I did use were kind of not for the right thing. So just trying to work through with what I have. Now I'm using this Essence mattifying setting powder with this e.l.f. brush, which I love this e.l.f. brush to this day. I use this like every day. I've purchased it many times. The Essence powder is pretty good. This is the first time I've had this one, but I used to always use their Stay Matte. I think it was called Stay Matte but not flat, or is that a NYX thing? But I used theirs for a long time. Now I'm using the Bare Minerals Warmth. Whew, goes on pretty pigmented. I always forget when I haven't used this in a long time. It goes on really pigmented, but it blends out really well. This was a favorite for a long time, just as like a bronzer. I feel like the tone is really pretty and it suits a lot of skin tones. I kind of forgot about it, and so I'm happy I used it today because I think it looks really pretty. Warming up my skin a little bit because I'm so white. Now I'm using the Essence Silky Touch blush in the shade Adorable. This used to be a major favorite. It's just a really nice neutrally pink color. Goes on really great. It's not overly pigmented, so it's kind of easy to use. And again, it's just one of the products that I kind of forgot about and don't really use anymore. But I think it does look really pretty. It gives a nice flush to the cheeks without adding too much craziness or shimmer or pigment or anything. It just looks really nice and natural. Now this I have used for years. It is the Wet n Wild bronzer-ish highlighter in that Cabana color. Get My Cabana something. It's really pretty natural highlight, and I used to use it all the time. I like it. Still do, occasionally when I want something that looks really natural, nothing too crazy, but it looks really pretty. It's a great go-to highlight. Now I'm priming my lids with this e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. I have used this for years. This is probably like the second eyeshadow primer I ever tried in my lifetime, and it does great things. Super inexpensive. Mary Kay eyeshadows with more EcoTools brushes. I sold Mary Kay for like a hot month and decided it wasn't for me. But I do think some of their products are great. These eyeshadows I used to love. I still think they're really good quality, super pretty colors. So I'm just kind of taking that neutral shade all over my eyelid. And then a little bit darker of one, I'm going into the crease. I recently kind of fell in love with these eyeshadows. I pulled them out a few months ago and throw them in every once in a while. I just don't like the palette that they're in. It's kind of a pain to use, and I just haven't found anything better to put them in. But I do think that they're great quality, and they're pretty inexpensive. I think maybe like $6-ish, $5, something like that. But they blend out really pretty. Now, this was my first eyeshadow palette I ever had. It's from Urban Decay. It's the Book of Shadows, and they're all shimmery colors. Pretty much stuff that you can only use like one shade at a time. So I'm using this shade called Scandal. This was probably my favorite color in the whole palette. It's a nice like peachy shimmery color. I'm just putting that all over my lids. I used to wear this a lot as like a one shadow look. Now I'm using the shade Roach and just kind of darkening the outer corner a little bit. This one's a really good color too. This was my first introduction to Urban Decay eyeshadows, and I still like them to this day. Even this palette, even though it's like quite old, it still is great. And the shadows are just so buttery and pigmented and easy to use. Now I'm taking that Roach shade again on a smaller little EcoTools brush and just going underneath my waterline. What would you call that? Underneath my eye, I guess. Just adding a little bit of definition. I'm actually not gonna wear eyeliner today, which I've kind of been doing recently. I kind of don't mind it. Then I'm going back into the Mary Kay palette, taking that light shimmery shade, just highlighting my brow bone and the inner corners of my eye. I like this look I got today with the eyeshadows. It's kind of a peachy, nude kind of a feel. I feel like it just goes really well with that warmth bronzer from Bare Minerals. It just looks really nice and natural all together. Just brushing through my eyebrows. I used to always use eyeshadow for my eyebrows, so that's what I am doing today. I'm using just this e.l.f. angled brush. I don't think I even used to use a brush. I think I just used to use like the little sponge tip applicators that came with the eyeshadow, and I just got a really thick line with it, which was a look. It was a look. So today I'm just doing it a little bit more natural, a little bit more like how I would do it now. And I still do this every once in a while where I use eyeshadow for my eyebrows. Just need a shade that's really neutral, kind of more cool tone, and it does the trick for sure. Oh, and this was another Mary Kay eyeshadow. Just brushing it through, making sure it doesn't look too powdery. Now I'm taking this Jordana 12-hour eyeliner and somewhat like tight lining. I suck at it though, so it didn't really do anything. And creepy eyes. These two used to be my favorites. The supersizer is a little bit newer, and I probably went through 3 containers of this. What would you call that? 3 packages? 3 tubes. 3 tubes of this stuff. And I still think it's good. I just like other things now, but I do like it as like a base coat to my lashes because I do think it holds curl pretty well, or like pushes up your lashes a little bit because I didn't curl my eyelashes today. Then I'm using the CoverGirl Lash Blast. This was a favorite way back in the day, like, I don't know. I don't think they had this when I was in high school, but like maybe college. And I did use this. I remember using this a lot. I remember me and my sisters really liked this, and so we would always get this one. And I recently picked up this little sample size of it because I thought it was something new, and then I realized it was this same one, and I'm not a huge fan of it anymore. It does okay, but it's not my fave. I do have to say the applicator is very easy for separating your lashes. It does a really great job at just getting in there and breaking up clumps. And it applies to the under eye pretty nice as well, the lower lash line. I am using this Maybelline matte lipstick in Touch of Spice. This was a favorite not too long ago, maybe like 2 years ago or so. I feel like this was super popular on YouTube. It was when the Kylie Jenner lip was originally really popular. Everyone wanted that nice shade, and I do have to admit this is quite pretty, and it was kind of nice. After I filmed this video, I went throughout my normal day and I kind of forgot how much I really liked these lipsticks. They stay on really nice. They last quite a while for just being a lipstick, and super comfortable. My lips never felt dry or chapped throughout the day, and for being a matte lipstick, that's pretty great. And so I think I'll be pulling these out again. So here is the final look. This was super fun to do. I liked pulling out some of these old favorites. All right, so that completes this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was really fun for me to pull out some of my old favorites that don't get used as much anymore. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe down below. And until next time, bye guys.